What seems to us or what seems to you as a bitter trial often turns out to be a blessing in disguise. It is written in Romans 8:28 that everything happens for the good of those that love the Lord and are called according to purpose, to his purpose actually, and plan. Now, Friday, as we're gearing up for Friday, we are going to be celebrating Good Friday, but it looked or seemed a trial back in the day. Jesus at a point says, if possible, yeah, let this cup be taken away from me because it's heavy. It was a trial. But little did he know that it would turn out to be a blessing to mankind. Little did he know that we shall time to come be celebrating. Maybe, okay, he knew anyway. We would be celebrating Christmas. I mean, we'll be celebrating what's wrong with me? I'm thinking about Christmas already. We'll be celebrating Easter because of that day that seemed a trial to him. Joseph did not understand the trial he was going through, was training him on how to sit with kings, how to interpret dreams, how, God was preparing him for a certain glory. But because the brothers were all up against him, he didn't understand it. He thought it was a trial that had come to finish his life. At a point, he's questioning himself, saying, why am I going through this? Why do my brothers hate me this much? My blood brothers, they hate me this much, And when he was sold off, he must have felt a certain way. He must have felt so bad. But, God was working it up all for the good of him. All for the good of him. I'm reading it again. What seems to us as bitter trials are often a blessing in disguise. Let me relate it to your situation. You who's watching. You've lost a job and you're going to watch this, or you're watching it actually. You're thinking, why? It's a trial. It has become a trial. It's a challenge. It's eating you up. You're like, how am I going to survive? I have family. I have children. I have my, siblings. I have people who depend on me, what we call dependents. But I've lost a job. And God is saying, yeah, because now your mind is going to open up and you are going to start up your own company. I've seen so many testimonies of people say, had I not been fired, I wouldn't have started my own company. I have someone actually who was testifying recently because God has given her the grace to start up something of her own and she's making money. But back in the day, when the job ended, because they signed off, the company and, sold it off, so much happened. She lost a job and she has been praying about a job, praying for a job, until finally, voila, the mind's opened up. Why don't I start something? And let me tell you, what seemed a trial, it's now a blessing because now she's starting to employ people. But back in the day, she was employed, meaning she used to work on the terms and conditions of the employer. But now God has given her the liberty to have the creative mind to set up something, and God has blessed it. So I'm here to tell you, what you're looking at as a trying moment, I may not have words to articulate, that it's going to be okay. That years later, you're going to see why you went through what you went through, and it wasn't to kill you, but it was for the glory. I read something before actually talk about anything else. I read about someone that was hidden, Joash, Joash, whose father was a king. When the king died, when the father passed on, the mother, who should be the grandmother, wanted to kill this boy to finish everyone so that she takes up as queen, which she did later. But one was sharp enough to say, let me hide this boy. This boy could have said, why me? Now I'm not even in the palace anymore. But God was protecting him for later to install him as king when the wicked grandmother dies. Okay, let me talk about, David. Probably would have been asking, because I remember one of the scriptures, David confessing and saying, I understand in sin my mother bore me and all those things. It means life wasn't as it was or it should be. He was always in the wilderness alone, something that could have been a trial for him. Even when he goes to fight Goliath, the brother said to him, you've come to show off. Go away, go back home. Things that became a trial for him. But in the end, God knew that, your separation, your rejection, all is working out for you. That what may seem as a trial is going to be a blessing in disguise. So what is aching you and hurting you and tormenting you? It could be an end to something. But God is saying there's an opening coming. It could be, a friendship ended, and God is saying, only if you could have seen the conversations behind your back, you wouldn't have called this a trial. Go through it, but you're going to learn to be you're going to learn to be dependent on the Lord solely. You're going to learn, so many lessons to learn. So I don't want you to look at it as a trial. No, that trial grows you. That trial opens up your mind. That trial somehow, comes in an elevation, like I was telling us, that when the devil raises dust, God always puts a standard. That dust, can represent the trials. The Hebrew boys never knew that trial of the fire would elevate them to a certain level. Daniel never knew that the trial he was going through, being cast away, into the lion's den, would give him an elevation he never thought he would have. So I'm trying to tell you, let's look at Hannah. Hannah never knew that the trial of being barren for a moment was going to elevate her to a certain level that up till today, we read about her in the sun. We read about her in the sun. There's a certain glory that came with that trial. So I'm trying to tell you that it won't kill you. Whatever storm, whatever trial, it won't kill you. Trust God that there's a blessing in this guys out of that trial.
Download the Salt Media app from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.